up suicide mission. But the real boss fight starts way earlier. First, you gotta break out of your actual cell. The walls are drill-proof and blast-proof, floor and ceiling. Solid bunker-grade concrete. So forget the classic tunnel job. And don't even think about sawing the bars. They're made of a special anti-cut alloy. Basically, the whole architecture screams, no exit. For 99% of the inmates, this place is a living tomb. But you're built different. Where others see unbreakable walls, you see a puzzle waiting to be cracked. And guess what? You've already got the first piece. Your analytical brain just found a crack in the armor. The fatal flaw isn't a physical hole in the wall. Ironically, it comes from the prison's pride and joy, that fancy sensor fence. Turns out this cutting-edge tech has a major bug. It's way too sensitive. The system can't tell the difference between an escaping convict and a lost pigeon. If any living thing so much as brushes against the metal, the alarm goes ballistic instantly. And that's where human complacency kicks in. Since they blindly trust the backup cams and the snipers in the towers, their response protocol has gotten sloppy. When the siren wails, the guards just glance at the monitors, or do a lazy check from the tower. If they don't spot a guy in an orange jumpsuit scaling the fence, they immediately write it off as another false alarm caused by a raccoon or a deer. They do a half-assed check, cuss out the interruption, and kill the switch just to make the noise stop. You've pinpointed the weak spot, but knowing it's there and actually weaponizing it are two very different beasts. It's a puzzle that needs patience. Then, one night, while you're playing possum under the sheets, Lady Luck drops in. You hear the heavy boots of two night shift guards pausing right outside your cell. They aren't shooting the breeze about sports or girls, they're strictly venting. They let slip that the graveyard shift runs on a skeleton crew compared to the day team. Same paycheck, but double the stress and workload. You can practically smell the toxic resentment in their voices. This intel is a gold mine. Employee burnout and workplace envy. Those are tools more powerful than any master key if you know how to leverage them. You've got the psychological ammo for your master plan, now you just need the hardware. You start volunteering for all the grunt work, the nasty stuff nobody touches. It's not masochism, it's pure strategy. Being covered in filth gives you a legit reason to hoard a suspicious amount of soap without raising any red flags. Over in the woodshop, your job is sweeping sawdust, but you're really scouting. You spot a tiny blind spot in the security cam coverage. In that invisible corner, you stash some hardwood and an industrial rubber band you dumpster dived for. Boom! You MacGyver yourself a lethal slingshot. But the Holy Grail lands on uniform disposal day. The guards are supposed to haul the old gear to the shredder, but laziness is your best friend. To avoid breaking a sweat, they cut corners and make inmates lug the heavy bags. During the handoff, while the guards are busy doom-scrolling or lighting up, you seize the chaos. With sleight of hand worthy of a Vegas magician, you snag a full uniform and stuff it into your cleaning cart's trash. 0 witnesses. Now you've got a silent weapon and a second skin. The pieces are set. Game on. Now begins the war of attrition. By day you're weaponizing rats and birds, launching them at the fence to keep the alarms blaring. But the real psyop happens after dark. From the shadows you use your DIY slingshot to snipe the sensors with rocks. The system screams all night, driving the guards to the brink of insanity. Meanwhile, you drop the verbal poison. You start a rumor that the day shift knows the sensor is glitching, but refuses to fix it just to troll the night crew. Since the team was already salty about the pay gap, the lie spreads like a virus. The night shift burned out from chasing ghosts finally snaps. Trusting the walls and cameras, they make the fatal error they kill the motion sensor just to get some peace. You fire one last test rock. Dead silence. Checkmate. Time for phase 2. The next night, you unveil your masterpiece. Using soap paste and weeks of your own hair, you've sculpted a decoy head. Up close, it looks ridiculous. But in the dim light, it's enough to fool a sleep-deprived eye. The lazy guard makes his rounds, spots the motionless figure, and gets suspicious. Confident in his badge, he steps in solo to investigate. Rookie mistake. You aren't in the bed. You're the shadow behind the door. Before he can scream, you jump him. Lights out.